my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the whole setup here.
We got the whole setup. We got
We got a
mics,
whole
your
thing going on.
I'm a very open, not music knower.
That's right. I feel like you have said that you don't like music.
I don't care for music as much as other people do. It's a big part of people's life.
It's really interesting.
So hilarious. Do you like colors?
Yeah, colors are cool. Some of them.
They know what they did.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like a huge part of who I am.
Okay.
Where a lot of people music is such a defining feature of who they are.
Right.
And music, I'm give or take. But Mac and I were watching live concerts, videos, one song, but I'm interested.
Yeah.
A lot of people go to these things. It's crazy. But I didn't know Phil Collins played the drum on that song or is a drummer.
Oh my God.
In the air tonight. So he just the song starts and he just walks out of the shadow with a mic that's attached to his face, but his hands are just down. I'm like, what an interesting choice to sing with your arms down. Just insane
really crazy
looking
stage presence.
Hear me calling. And then you get on the drums. I'm like, oh, here we go. That makes sense now.
Okay. This is fascinating.
It's because not just because I'm wearing the hat, but Elvis playing on the Ed Sullivan Show where they zoom in really far close on him so you can't see his hips. You're like, I didn't know he also played the guitar.
I did not know he also played the guitar.
That's so interesting.
I thought that strap was attached to an AK-47.
Yeah, I did because he was in the military.
So then there's just a lot of basic music stuff that you just don't know.
Super basic stuff that I do not know.
Okay, so then what? All right, so I find people like you fascinating.
Thank you.
Because you don't.
Yeah.
You're not into a thing. There's not. You're not trying to show that you are cool.
No.
Not with music anyway.
Yeah.
But occasionally something catches your ear, and it's usually so random. So people like you have the most random, if you even buy music or at a time that you did, your CD collections would be so why, how did you, what are the jumps, what are the leaps, how? And it's usually I don't know, I was working with this guy for a summer and we listened to this and I liked it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's insane.
Yeah, there's very little connections.
So,
it's just a lot of random.
The stuff that you do like is really interesting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So what are, literally, what are songs that are, name songs that just truly warm every cockle of your heart?
Okay. Forever Young.
By Rod Stewart, Forever Young?
Oh, I thought it was someone else. Is it
could be.
Rockwell? I don't know.
Wait, hold on.
Forever Young.
Not Rockwell.
I want to be forever.
That
young.
one.
That song. That song fucking goes.
Right. Here's the
Rod
issue.
Stewart Forever Young is good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, here's the issue is, sadly, I have pushed a lot of important information out of my brain in order to keep music stuff.
Okay.
So and also I'm an old lady.
Sure.
So I'm 2 generations of
okay.
oh, you mean this? And it's no. But okay, yes, that one, that tracks. Okay, sure.
Alphaville
is it?
Is the artist.
Which was the name of a venue that sucked in Bushwick, right?
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah, I did some comedy in Alphaville.
Oh, I've never done
There's
comedy
a
there.
basement back room thing. I can't remember what it was.
What isn't?
What
at this
isn't
point?
nowadays?
Yeah, I mean,
I like a lot of Johnny Cash songs. I used to walk out to one of them.
Really?
My fight song was.
You can tell by my clothes. I like Johnny.
Okay, right,
I like Johnny Cash.
I used to walk out to a Man in Black. No. I used to walk out to When a Man Comes Around.
okay, all right.
That was my walkout song when I fought.
Interesting.
It was very literal. You're like, well, I'm here.
So
I'm coming around to fight.
Ready to go.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm going to heaven. I like Jeffrey Lewis, who no one knows who that is. I like.
You like a lot of stuff by Jeffrey Lewis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. His first 3 albums really fucking tickle me. I really enjoy it.
What's the music like?
It's New York anti-folk. It's like a guy who knows a guitar.
like say Maggie Estep or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Weird shit like that.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
You're like, it's like this, and then he goes, yeah.
I've
he
heard
knows
that.
what the fuck he should
I've
say.
heard that one.
Yeah. I mean, if you...
like a Moldy Peaches era, like that kind of stuff.
Yes. Okay.
That
Yeah. Mine's a little bit earlier, but it's the same.
Yes.
Yeah. Got it. Okay.
What else do I like? I like some... Nas, like early Nas.
Okay.
Early Wu-Tang.
Sure.
Mos Def, all of it.
Okay.
Black on Both Sides is perfect.
Sure. I used to play that all the time during my shifts at the porn store.
Oh.
I broke a lot. I played.
They had rules for the porn store for music?
Huh?
I thought you said I broke a lot of rules.
No, I broke a lot of artists.
Yeah.
I broke a lot of artists because for like a year or so,
You were like Magic City before Magic City.
well,
Yeah, people go to the porn store to see what's hot.
not yet. They didn't know it, and also it needed to be like they were like, well, I guess I'll pay attention to Nelly Furtado or whatever. But yeah, we just had a carousel. See, and I was also for the first year that I was working at the porn store, I was doing my last year at an independent record store.
Oh.
So I would bring in CDs to listen to, and they were all like promo ones. So they have like a stamp of
okay.
like,
Yeah.
and
Not for
I
sale.
had coworkers like, do you pay for music? Like all of this says you shouldn't have it. And I'm like, hey man, mind your business.
Yeah,
you know.
I don't know
you were
you're a cop
ahead
working
of
at
the
the
curve
porn
because now no one pays for music.
Right, exactly,
So-
exactly.
Yeah.
And so I would any music that I'd hear, and you have to like really look for, and I'd find I'm like, here it is, and I put it on, and unfortunately, you had to look for porn,
Yeah.
while listening to whatever I needed to hear in that moment.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll tell you this: "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" That soundtrack did better than I thought, but not particularly popular.
Okay. There's like, I'm a man of constant sorrow.
Yeah.
I'm looking for BBF.
Yeah. I mean, I was just like, oh, everyone's talking about this soundtrack. Let's go. Come on. And
It's not really George Clooney singing.
Yeah.
People don't know
Yeah,
that.
It's in the South. We're in Atlanta.
Yeah, like come on, but it didn't pop the way I thought it would. But there were still some people who were. But I was around for like the Peaches when Peaches happened.
Wow.
So I played a lot of Peaches.
That's
and
made
people,
for a porn star.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it also, well, you would think, and in a feminist, pink crop top, titties out kind of way.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But that's only like 2% of the
That's right. That's a
clientele.
good point.
The most is just guys like, why am I hearing "fuck the pain away"
Yeah.
repeated ad nauseum? And I'm like, ain't that what you trying to
Yeah.
do?
It's a
were
guy
not-
pulling his hat down and being like, don't you think this song's a little crass?
Yeah,
This
This
is a
is a
bit much
bit.
sliding.
Come
Those big
on.
VHS boxes.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I never. Why are those boxes so big?
So you could put more pictures on them and really decide.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, guys would spend a lot of time with those boxes, just flipping them over,
Interesting.
trying to see.
Is
maybe
this-
I want to. And
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of treated them like dates a little bit, like this, because this is like, this is my date for the evening.
Right.
I need to make sure I really.
What's the rental period?
Your normal 2 days.
2 days. Okay.
But I will say this.
It's by the minute.
I will say this. At that time, it was a 2-day rental or 2-night or whatever. But we also had specials
Okay.
where what was it? Rent 2 get 1 free. So 3, or rent 4 get 2 free.
Whoa.
So a lot of people are like, "Well, I love a bargain."
They buddy up.
And no, they're tackling this by themselves. So they would take home 6 movies
Wow.
for 2 days. And I'm like, I mean, I hope you are
Yeah.
like dubbing these, because what are you? Or
Yeah.
It's a 3-day weekend, hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, or
It
you're
better be Labor
prepared
Day.
for- yeah, like I hope. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't want you to copy them, but I hope you are.
Sure. Yeah.
You got to get your money's worth.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or you just don't.
Because
do
I guess
anything.
it's like, okay, I got 2 days. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
right.
I got
sure.
6. Okay,
Right,
yeah, I can like
so
make
three-
it happen.
and you're not. No one's watching them all the way through.
No.
But I mean,
Oh, that's sad. Someone worked hard on that.
I know sometimes.
That
yeah.
poor gaffer.
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely. Yeah, there have been some people have complained about like continuity.
That's awesome. That's
Did it go in?
unbelievable.
Did it go in and come out?
yeah,
then
It was in and then in again.
Yeah, because that's the thing is, I'm just like, hey, we don't guarantee a nut.
Sure.
We just tell you it should work.
It's so like no. Do I need to clean the tape? Is
Yes.
it staticky? If not, then
Does a
Right.
porn store have a please rewind system?
We'd
at
love
work?
it if you do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If only,
Yeah, I hear
We'd
you.
love it if
Yeah.
you do that, but
sometimes you're in a mentally compromised state
Sure.
after watching these videos.
Yes.
So sometimes
So
you forget to
sleepy.
rewind.
Yeah, so sleepy.
yeah, it is. But I also don't like knowing
where
exactly. Oh, that's so interesting. Because I remember
I'd play a little shuffle with it. I'd fast forward a little, I'd rewind a little bit. You have no idea what kind of fun I had.
I remember when I was growing up, we had VHSs, and we had I can't remember what Stallone movie it is. It's a Stallone movie where he has sex in the shower with a woman.
Sure,
thank
awesome.
God.
Yeah,
and I was 11 or 12. I'm like, I fucking love this scene.
Right.
And I would just rewatch that scene.
Right.
So much I damaged the
it probably snapped. Yeah. It does a thing where it's like,
yeah. It's like, I'm tired. I like how the VHS is like, fucking easy, bud.
I know. Yeah, because
it got worn out like a belt that you wore too much.
Yeah.
I would
my neck
but
while
this
I
is
jacked
the
off.
kind of nerd I am. And I'm sure this is something that's hasn't been diagnosed yet in me, but I like to listen to songs over and over.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to spend a whole back when I would make tapes for me to play in the car. If there was a song that I know I like, I would record it 3 times. That way I wouldn't have to rewind it all the time.
Oh, so smart.
Because I'm snapping shit
That's so smart.
all the time playing this. So I was just like automatic 3 times. And then, you know what? I'm going to have to force myself to either flip it over or do whatever. But in the car, I limit myself to 3 times.
Fair.
But now that it's just,
I
just hit rewind 1 and then I'm good for like a week. I will absolutely listen to a song for a full week.
That's a lot. I forgot something I've been actually really into lately because I rarely get enthusiastic about music.
Right.
I listen to it, go like, this is enjoyable. Ebo Taylor and like any kind of like African synthwave, psychedelic music I've been really enjoying. And there's an Ethiopian band that I like. Etel Lestrand or something like that.
All right.
The Star at Night.
Blue album cover
blue
with the
yellow star.
Yeah.
It fucking really. I'm like, this is what I like.
Great.
I just haven't been able to find it forever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have been stuck in this country.
I've been stuck in this fucking country.
So,
you didn't get to watch MTV Ethiopia.
Right.
We
you didn't get the full package.
Yeah, growing up, we didn't have MTV 37.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly. So
Total Request Ethiopia. You weren't getting that to see what they were into.
Yeah. Oh wow. Oh, that's great. I'm glad that there's something.
Yeah.
I just want there to be
But
something.
I will never go to a live music event. Live concerts are a fucking nightmare to me. Like if I think about how hell exists, if hell exists, which it does,
And it does.
and we're all going,
And it
especially you, because of what you'd worked at before.
I also thought before when you're like, there's something I've really been into lately, and you're like, MILF Latinas. And I'm like, no, that's not what we're saying.
If hell exists, and what I think hell should be is very personal. It should be like a specific thing.
Right. Okay.
Each person's
Coachella.
Oh, sure.
Like me being put in a concert, an outdoor concert, I think would be the worst thing for me.
I love live shows, and I do not like the idea of Coachella.
Okay.
Yeah, festivals are
festivals are terrible. I don't like the idea of being outside. I don't really drink, and I don't drug, so I never lose my inhibition.
I'm
always just noticing everything.
Noticing feelings.
The later the night goes, the more your coil tightens.
Just truly a knot just gnarled by the end of it. Like, no, it was great.
Yeah.
So I can't fully enjoy myself outside like others do. Hyper vigilance is fine inside a venue because then I'm like, emergency exits. I stand here. Earplugs. Like it works.
Here's a pole I can lean on.
Where are the trash cans?
Yeah.
There's always room by the trash can.
There's always room. Because of the fear of smells. But at a concert, there's no smells.
No one's ever, it's all just empty cans, so that's fine. But I do love going to live shows.
Okay.
And I spent a good portion of the past couple of years going to a lot of live shows because when I moved to New York to do I was just like, I'm going to New York, I'm going to do this comedy thing. I don't have any money.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do the comedy thing because it's literally all I can afford.
Yeah.
And so I missed out on a lot of just kind of, I was so like one track mind. I missed out on a lot of like kind of music things and definitely a good number of shows. And so I finally got to a point where I was like, well, I don't know where this comedy thing is going, honestly.
Yeah.
So maybe I should try to do things I enjoy.
Oh my God.
You had a good time once in a while?
There was a thing I used to do.
Yeah.
And so,
it was be happy.
oh,
shit.
So I started like going back to shows. So in fact, I got in very late last night. I had gone to Atlanta for the weekend because it was a friend's birthday, a friend who's also a music person. Her name's Millie DeChirico. She's fantastic.
Okay.
And she
a writer?
No, she she did write a book. She used to work at TCM. She was like
Turner Classic Movies?
Oh. Yeah, she did programming there. Whoa. And so she co-wrote a book about cult classics.
Okay.
And she had
like Kool-Aid? Cult classic, like cults, they kill each other with Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah, like those Nikes, like that one kind of Nike.
Like
right. Yes, a little bit. And she had a podcast called "I Saw What You Did." That was a film podcast.
Okay.
And
yes.
now she has another film podcast. That one ended. And she has another one called Movies I Love You or something like that.
Yeah.
And so, but it was her birthday and she wanted to see Tyler, the Creator. And he was playing in Atlanta. And I was like, I'll go see Tyler, the Creator.
Yeah.
In Atlanta, because this is how far gone I am. Well, I would like to see what the Atlanta energy would be. Even though I did also buy a ticket to see him in New York. And I'm going to compare. Who am I?
Yeah.
Who
Taking notes.
Amateur anthropologist.
Who cares about this?
Not as energetic.
But I did the same thing with like King Cruel. I love King Cruel. And I was in Atlanta at the time that I started listening to him. But the only times I had seen him were in New York. So like maybe a couple of years ago, he played Atlanta for the first time, and I went to see it because I was just like, I want to see what the Atlanta audiences are like.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did. It paid off because they were. It's just they. I don't know. I guess the easy way to say it is they're all about having a good time, whereas New York audiences are about like, you see me here, right?
Yeah,
so you know I'm cool.
yeah.
So I don't actually have to do anything.
Yes, yeah.
And that is. Look, I don't need you jumping around. My feet hurt. So we can, if we want to stand or lean, that's fine. But like, at least show that you're having a good time.
Yes.
There truly is the feeling, the aura of enjoyment.
Yeah.
You're too cool to enjoy the thing that you paid to be
all
at.
this money for. I've only seen a couple of shows where I was like, oh, okay. People here mean it. They're having a good time. Yeah. But usually everyone is just very
and then
cool.
it kind of gets pawned off as being like, oh, New York is like a very discerning audience.
Nah,
and it's like, no, you guys are just fucking.
Yeah, y'all are just, I'm like, you're all young. You don't even know. I mean, there's a coolness. I think my cool is, I guess I'm older, so it looks different than what I guess a younger cool looks like. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot more of, I know, there are so many, I feel like Hallmark cards or accessory posters that are just like, it just cast off and everything, you'll feel free. And that's what they keep telling women. And they keep saying, no, at some point you truly won't care.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not 100%
It's not fully
true.
It's not fully
like
true.
you will care, but the way it comes out will be different.
Yeah.
Like you're a little more discerning about what it is that you care about. And you do care about the other thing, but it's more of a, well,
yeah.
And that's what it looks like. It's not like, oh, I got to do something. It's just like, oh, goddamn.
Well,
and then you keep it moving, hopefully. So, so that's the thing is just like there's being ice cold, like, but I'm like, nah, man, I'm just here. I just want to see how Atlanta cheers versus New York.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sit the whole time. Y'all stand.
Sure. Have
People,
fun. Hey, have fun.
Have a good time.
Bring your
Don't
own
worry
chair,
about me.
fold out ones.
Right, exactly. But that I understand why you would hate live.
Yeah, people touching me, I have to stand. It's loud. I don't like. Because I don't listen to music. I have very sensitive ears compared to like. These Mike is
shit's
deaf.
blown out. I can't hear anything.
When I was 19, I started dating a guy who had like a band that was heavily influenced by Spaceman 3.
Okay.
So at the
Yes.
first practice I went to, he handed me earplugs.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he was
what
like, "You're
kind
going to
of-
want to use these." And I was like,
Yeah.
"What?" And he was like, "Just put them in."
Put them in. Yeah.
And so he saved my life.
Yes. Yeah. I think I started wearing earplugs at live shows at about 32 years old.
Right. Here's the
yeah.
thing.
Like I fucked up bad.
I would use them at live shows all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm also going out dancing. Like every week, couple of times
yeah.
a week, I'm out in the club, no earplugs.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, why can I not
He,
hear anything? And then also I went to like a Smoking Grooves show, and I feel like Cypress Hill blew out my right.
Whoa.
I was just there, and they did
Yeah.
something. I was like, oh, that's gone.
That's
That's
good.
and
Oh,
it's
shit.
gone.
my
And forever
That's
gone.
it. And it just kind of occasionally just sings out a bell, like, hey.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know.
mine was definitely from playing in bands and having like a practicing. My bands would practice in our practice space at full volume, like the whole time. But our practice spaces would be like a room this big, but it's concrete.
Oh, it's really,
Oh,
So
it
it
really
Lord.
reverberates
pushes
in
back.
there.
Yeah.
The drummers, the cymbal is right here because we share it with 3 bands.
Yeah.
Because we can't afford it on our own.
Right.
So everyone has like their own little quadrant, but and it's just like between that and like going to. I mean, there was a point in my like late teens, early 20s where I was going to like 4 or 5 shows a week, probably.
Oh,
like
yes.
I would go see shows all the time. I was playing in bands. I'd have band practice. I would be on tour. I'd do this whole thing. And it's just like, and I'm not like listening to my headphones at a reasonable volume.
No, of course
ever.
not. No.
And then it was just like, and then I got AirPods and those kind of made it worse somehow, I think.
Yeah, I luckily my ears are too delicate for like AirPod things, which just means nothing will stay
Okay,
in
yeah.
there. I learned a lot about my ears during COVID. One, that they are just too dainty and precious
dainty.
for like mask all the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I had to do an over the head thing because they literally
Oh.
would
Pulling.
my
Oh,
ear
it's-
would just literally just
Yeah.
just faint.
Those,
under the- oh,
those
Lord.
flower petals on the side of your head.
Yeah,
just
which
wilt.
I never really thought. I was just like, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
they were-
you're like
oh.
a delicate southern belle.
Yeah, all of a sudden. But yeah, so there's that, and I can't keep those things in. So I gotta be the asshole with cans on. But now
Yeah.
that's kind of cool.
Kinda
Everyone
cool.
with the.
Yeah.
But I definitely was just like with a cord trailing behind me. But it's definitely too loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My stuff it's so funny too because I used to make fun of my dad for not being able to hear because he worked in the Navy. He was on he worked in like the engine room on the ships.
ooh, Lord.
So his one of his ears, and then he like just kept doing stuff like in that vein for his whole life. And hey, thanks so much, Dad. Great health insurance. Awesome. It was awesome for me. But just like left ear gone. Just nothing from the left ear. Like you could be talking to him and he would turn one way and the conversation would end.
Yeah.
Because it just didn't work anymore. And you're like, I think we need hot dog buns also. And you're like waving. You have to do like
Yeah,
a big Navy flag.
My dad was definitely losing his hearing before he passed away, but he didn't. Maybe he didn't cop to it or whatever. But we definitely were like, "Hey, this is too loud. This television."
Yeah.
And he's just like, "What? Well, I'm in the other room," and I'm like, "Nah, bruh."
Yeah.
No,
The
you're
chair's
not.
2 feet away.
You're literally asleep across from the like. Calm down.
Yeah.
And yeah, that would be so funny because my mother, she passed away before my dad did, but so she was like paralyzed on her right side from a stroke, and he was her caretaker, and he would just be in some room, and the TV is so loud. And I'm like, "What is this?" And she's like, "I tried to tell him, but he doesn't believe me. He can't hear shit." And I'm like, "Oh my God." That's so funny. He's probably like, that's just a stroke talking.
It's
Yeah,
a stroke
yeah, yeah.
talk.
Like, what do you
I'm
know?
saying this with the left side of my face. It's too loud.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Like, So
Yeah.
that's so funny. So I'm a little upset that I didn't get to have no, you can't hear.
Yeah.
You're not, like, I really wish that I could just.
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm like, I wonder how it's gonna go because my dad, obviously that's how time works. My dad is getting older, but it is like he hasn't been able to hear out of that ear since I was born,
Right.
So that, or like basically, so I'm like, I can't be like, this old bastard can't hear. I'm like,
Yeah.
he couldn't hear when I was 2.
Right. Well, I mean, like, I wonder if what will happen when hearing starts to go out on the right ear, and then he's just got to start reading lips or like pretending like he knew what you said.
Yeah,
or...
and I go, hey, that's his girlfriend's really gonna have to figure that out for him.
Yeah,
so I don't
Good luck
know.
to her,
my
and
God.
I don't
Yeah.
give a shit.
Thank you. Thanks, Debbie.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's what the ladies are there for.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys may not be concerned about this, but as a middle-aged woman who has just been reading about how all the different how everything is against us.
Okay.
Everything's falling apart.
Us as in
vaginal atrophy. By the way, that's one. That's a thing with menopause.
it just
Just
You're gonna
I
piss
guess,
yourself more, or what do you mean?
like it. Apparently, the muscles just
Yeah. Okay.
right, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was a. So I guess I'm supposed to have sex in order to keep them up, and I'm like, is there another way?
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be something else.
I mean, can I just? What about Gwyneth
Is there like a
Paltrow's
Bowflex
balls?
for
Yeah,
that?
like what's it? I mean, like,
Can we do that?
yeah. So, but that's a concern that actually not too much of a concern for me. But
It's a
I
thought
am.
that lingers
It's a thought,
occasionally.
yeah. But there's I just read about, and I mean, this is something that's been going on forever. But I just like the little catchy. You got to watch out for dudes with nurse with a purse syndrome.
What is this?
If guys who are looking for older women
Oh, okay.
who have money and who will take care of them, because women tend to be caretakers, right? And then men tend to fall ill
Yeah.
quick
Really
before
good
the
at that.
women do. Yeah, and women are there to take care of them.
Yes.
And so there are guys who are like, let me go on and get a bitch right quick. And because women
My
tend
stomach's
to have
feeling
like,
a little strange. Let me go get a wife.
yeah, and then,
she can
let
figure this
me
out for
find a woman who's got she got her own house. Anywho, all of that shit, and she's got some money and she's got insurance, and then let her take care of me.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell her that I love her.
Yeah.
I'll throw an "I love you" at her every once in a while. These dames, they're hard up. They're middle aged. They don't.
Yeah.
They need to hear it. They need to hear it.
While they can.
Yeah,
While they can still hear
their vaginal muscles are just falling right
Yeah.
out. So let me, we'll poke it with a stick, and then
Yeah.
and then she'll take care of me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, nurse with a purse.
The purse.
Oh, but
Yeah.
but that slaps. I love the nurse with a purse
It
idea.
really rolls
Yeah.
off the
It
tongue.
does. I'm like, I mean, maybe I will take care of a man if he called me a nurse with a purse.
Yeah, that's not so bad.
I got no standards.
Sure.
That's two compliments stacked on top of each other.
Nurse.
Yeah.
Educated.
Yeah.
Caring.
Yeah.
Right.
Empathetic.
That's what.
Looks
Yeah.
good in scrubs.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
tried to do something else, failed out of that, went to night school to become a nurse.
Right, yeah.
One of some of the meanest women you've ever met in your entire life needed a career.
Right. Yeah.
We'll do a TikTok dance while you choke to death in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, well, actually, I would do that to
Yeah.
any old dude that I'm with now.
Yeah.
But I just, that's impossible. I could never do any of those TikTok dances. No, not that I.
I saw a video of a girl being like, "Today's day 35 of me learning how to do the Dougie."
Oh, I watched
Oh
that.
man.
And I was
It's a
like,
tough one.
35 days?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
it's not that.
I've been anti-Dougie since it appeared.
Since he was Douglas.
Yes. And I took a dance class, and I feel like it was like dancing the Atlanta rap artist or something. I feel like it was called A-Town Stomp or something.
Okay, yeah.
And I took the class, and so I remember the instructor.
That's like when kids whose parents are immigrants take Spanish, and I'm like, you got a leg up on that one.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
already.
yeah.
You've
Well,
been dancing.
you
You've
would
been doing
think-
8-town stomps.
Yeah, you would think, but I mean,
Yeah.
the dances have changed, and so
Crumping for dummies.
Like, I'm actually pretty smart. So,
and the instructor's just like, okay, now we're going to do the Dougie. And I was just like, oh no, I've been anti-Dougie my whole life. Like, how am I doing? And literally within 10 minutes, I was like, oh, this is literally how you Dougie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This bitch took 35 days.
To be taught how to Dougie. The song is about teaching you how to Dougie.
It
It
all
tells you what
there.
to do.
in the song,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I mean, I will say her Dougie was rough in the beginning.
Yeah,
and by
so
the end
that's
of the
bad.
month, not bad.
Yeah.
It's really about perseverance.
It's about
It really is.
it shows the heart of a person.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Because the Dougie is kind of like the IKEA of dancing. It's like
A
they
little
give
bit.
you, they kind of give
They
you all
put
the
it
pieces
There are
right
many
there.
things they
Going
tell you
backwards?
what to do. There
Yeah.
are videos of little kids doing it.
And you can, and the Dougie seems like in
it's
a way,
so simple.
It's so simple, and it's like a stew where you can really add your own flavor to it as long as you have the basic ingredients.
Exactly.
No. Everyone's saying it's so simple. I'm like, I don't know if it's simple. It's simple. It's not easy.
I think if I had 35 days to learn how to Dougie, I would have 34 days to learn how to do something else.
Okay.
I would have 34 days to start
You
Duolingo.
have to. The move itself is simple.
Okay.
If you don't think about it, that's the thing. You have to.
I'm so good at that.
You have to let go in order to Dougie.
Okay.
But if you think about it, it looks wild. Like, why are you okay?
Yeah.
But so that's the tough thing is to let it go. So you can do it, and it's very stiff.
Yeah.
But it's literally you're just it's a very simple like shifting of what like moving from side to side.
Yeah.
But you gotta let that Dougie in.
You gotta let him in.
You
gotta let him in.
Open the door
Don't
for
fight the Dougie.
Open the door.
Your heart to the Dougie.
Open the door for Dougie. That's all I'm saying.
Or else, you don't want to be out here by yourself. Let
true.
them
No.
in.
You don't want to let the walls of your heart atrophy.
No, you gotta let Dougie rub you
All right.
on the inside.
Fair enough.
There is something about dancing though where I'm like, I think at a certain point there's like a thing where it's like, I think it's like with like playing guitar or like a lot of stuff where I'm like, I see someone and I go like, definitely you're bad at dancing. And then there's a huge, vast middle ground of people who are fine at dancing. And then there are people who are very good, but almost to the point where I'm like, I don't like it. I hate it.
You're too good.
You're just it's like, oh, you're just like, I don't know. There's no, you're all technique.
No
expression or feeling. You don't, I'm like, okay, yeah, you're doing the Dougie. But do you know Dougie?
Right.
Do you know him?
Yeah.
Do you understand
Do you understand
him?
the motivation?
You're listening to Jimmy, but you don't hear Jimmy.
Yeah. Do you know? Sure, you know you can Dougie. Do you know why you Dougie?
Yeah.
Why are you Dougie? Yeah.
Important questions.
What brought you here to Dougie?
What brought you to the dance?
How did you land at Dougie?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so busy asking yourself if you can Dougie. You didn't think to ask if you should Dougie.
And I'm looking at you, Japanese teenagers with cornrows.
Absolutely. What's up with that? No, the Japanese are allowed to do cultural appropriation. I'm absolutely fine with them doing anything Hispanic. That's my
dude.
And I think I'm the guy to give that okay.
Dude, because like the Japanese Chicanos?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They go crazy. They go like full. The Japanese like teenagers and like people in their 20s, when they are like, I'm part of a subculture, they go like full. Like
they
cosplay,
go full in. Yeah,
their culture is buying in hard.
Yeah,
like when MMA was big in Japan, it was huge. They did prior to the Tokyo Dome, 44,000 people. Like they're really about the fad and being hyper enthusiastic. And when it dies, it dies.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Does anything really die? I always feel like there's like, when in doubt, Japan.
Yeah, true. True.
But I mean, I guess things do eventually kind of fade.
I think there's always going to be like a little bubble of people that really loved it. But people that actually were like, oh, this is actually like the thing that I like.
Right.
Because there's a dude. It was like a Japanese dude getting like interviewed, and he had like an afro, like
that's a lot of perming.
And they were like, and why do you have that? He goes, I love hip hop. I want to represent the hip hop culture. And they're like, who is your favorite rapper? And this was post arrest. He was like, probably Puff Daddy.
Really?
And they're like, what's your favorite Puff Daddy song? He goes, I just love the culture.
Oh,
and like it was like a really like.
I think anytime I hear someone call Puff Daddy a rapper, I'm like, really?
I'm like, sure. Technically,
that's great that you're not a big music person, but you know enough to clock like, what?
Yeah, like,
what is
producer?
this?
That's like my favorite wrestler, probably Vince McMahon.
Yeah,
well, he did a lot of stuff, and
Paul
actually
Heyman's number one,
kind of similar off screen. They did a lot of similar stuff.
Yeah, a lot of the same thing.
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's.
My favorite actor, M. Night Shyamalan. It's like, he's in his movies.
Yeah. Quentin Tarantino, one of my favorite actors, probably. Because all the things he says and does in his movies.
Yeah, but there's something about how, and again, this is truly me just not thinking about it. When Japanese people do cultural appropriation, it feels so earnest. It feels so kind.
Okay. All right.
Especially because they didn't, like, when an American does racial appropriation in black culture. It's like you should be at least so educated in the awful history of what America's and the black people. Like, they're a little separate. They're a little separated from it. So there's this, I don't know, there's, to me at least, as a Hispanic, there's just a little difference there to me. I don't know if I'm right or wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'll fist fight anyone who says I'm wrong.
There's a little bit of that, but I mean, I don't.
I also think it's like if you're stealing a white culture, I'm like, go crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Knock yourself
I don't fucking care.
out.
It's
Knock
been shoved down
out.
everyone else's throat so much. It's like, how could you not at this point?
Because it's like when they do the Chicano thing, I'm a little like, that's strange. When they're like, we're greasers, I'm like, yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Go crazy, James Dean, whatever.
Hispanics have been very vocal, though, about how much we love it when people like do anything. Like there
you
is
guys are like, we love Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for including us.
Awesome.
Yeah, we do. We love it.
So
I'm sure you'll
funny.
find, a person here and there who says Latinx, who's like, that's not okay. I'm like, go fuck yourself.
That's
Loser.
so funny. Okay, that makes me think of two things. First, over the past year, I at least there's a label for what I realize I truly enjoy, and that's City Boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm like, once I
Popeye magazine.
Popeye magazine.
Yeah. Once I realized like there was a name and I was just like, great, man, what a
Thank
relief.
God, yeah.
Now I know what it is that I've been
Yeah.
trying to do.
Yes. Have you seen there's a YouTuber, she's like a woman and she's really into City Boy.
She's fantastic.
Yeah, she's awesome. I can't remember her name,
I've seen her videos,
she's really good and very like, I'm like, oh, I like when someone is like, I'm going to do YouTube videos about this, and I actually know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I think I sent her channel to Courtney Farrington.
Yes. Oh,
yeah.
One of our favorites.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I also told him about the phrase, I think I said something, I was like, what you need is like some Gene Kelly pants. But I was just saying a thing, and then he was like, I didn't know that was a thing. And also, where has this been all my life? And I'm like, buddy, how have I not told you about the Gene Kelly? You need the Gene Kelly pants.
Like the high-waisted.
High-waisted, just kind of,
Yeah.
I was like, there was something he was trying to pull off, and I was just like, yeah, well, you need the...
You're missing the ingredient.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's why you come to me, sir.
Yeah.
So you have friends.
That's literally what it's based on. And then second, I remember, and I am still thinking about this day, I said something on Twitter years ago about missing rockabilly in my life. Just because if you're in the South and you're hanging out with anyone, just any white people, not all of them, but
subculture whites.
Subculture whites.
I'm hanging out with all white people.
not all of them, but I mean, sometimes there's a little overlap. If you're getting into the Western swing and then you're like, oh, I may have gone too far. But but there's always a rockabilly person. Yeah. There's cherries in your life. There's somebody, and I enjoy that. Like souped up cars and just go like seeing rockabilly people in the wild, like food shopping. Like I love, like, because they mean it,
at
right?
a food court.
And just like getting like at Walmart, getting toilet paper, and they are still fucking. Like
Pompadour.
Yes, tricked out.
Yeah.
And I love that shit. Or seeing half tricked out and then half in like basketball shorts.
Yeah.
Like I love Oh my God, I love that. And I realized of all of the little weird shit that I see in New York, I was just like, where are my rockabilly people?
Yeah.
And I remember tweeting it out, and you responded with just like, there's no place to put the cars. And I'm like, oh, right.
Rockabilly without the car. What are you doing? You're wasting your time.
But I mean, I'm also, I'm like, no.
They got no one. Yeah, that's a big part of it.
Huge.
That is. But I'm also just thinking of like, your everyday rockabilly person who's doing this with like a Honda Civic.
Yeah.
You know?
So this is a thing I've been getting so mad about for some reason. Because the style now that's like, oh, we got the Bushwick cowboy, the like guy with the fucking, he's wearing his like Wrangler bootcut jeans with the cowboy boots.
And the weird, and then like the must. Yes.
Yeah. So all those guys, it's like full. It's so funny that's like it's like full cosplay in this thing. It's like first of all, you live in Bushwick. Second of all your cowboy clothes are brand new,
brand new,
and you're hopping out of a Prius. Like you gotta like if you're gonna go rockabilly, you have like the old Chevy or like whatever. You have like the motorcycle or something.
You got to do something.
Yeah, but it's like, dude, you got to get like a shitty pit. If you're really a cowboy, if you really think you're a cowboy, first of all, crazy to live in Brooklyn.
Wild.
Yeah.
Opposite.
What are we doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, you could at best you could be like, well, 300 years ago it was farmland. And you go like, yeah, sure, I guess. 300 years.
Have a plant. Own a plant.
Yeah, 300 years ago you would have died of diarrhea. It's like, how far are we gonna go back?
Yeah.
But then it's like I don't know, because I'm like, I guess it's like the same thing. I've always thought about it. It's like, when you see people who like the weird like punk guys that have like it's like the way that I'm like, whatever way you've cut your hair, I know you can style it into being acceptable in the office.
Yeah.
Like you're half in, half out. I'm like, I don't know why. I'm like, you should ruin your life. Get a face tattoo.
Do your thing.
Do the thing. Yes. Right. But I want you to do the thing and be able to do the thing. But I also know that you are a person and you got to do like people stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so that's why I liked seeing people in the wild.
Yeah.
So like, I'm like, okay, so you don't have the right kind of old clunker that you need in order to be rockabilly.
Yeah.
But you have got so many stickers on the back of your fucking Dodge Neon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
your Dodge Neon looks like you're trying to get me to believe in Betty Page.
Yes, like you
as
gotta,
a savior.
Yeah, like you have to just.
Yeah.
Like
that is the thing where it is a big investment monetarily to be so far into like that stuff where you're like, I have at this point now 75-year-old car that I'm driving around.
You have to really.
This car is closer to the beginning of cars than it is to now.
It's like when you learn that the pyramids are closer, or what is it? We're closer to Cleopatra than Cleopatra was to the making of the pyramids.
Wow.
And it's like, dude, you're nowhere close to those cars anymore.
Dude, this is like when I always forget about when people say Victorian, the Victorian era.
Right.
It's way later than I always remember.
Right. I'm
like,
always thinking it's so far back.
Yeah, someone being like, I'm wearing a Victorian era dress. I'm like, why are you wearing a dress from the 1400s? But it's from like 1902 or something.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's still old as fuck.
Anytime there's a television show and they're just like, it's set in Victorian times. And then like, there's like a horse about. I'm like, oh, we were doing horse and buggy
We're
stuff.
doing horse. We figured out. We figured out buggy. Yeah.
You guys had the wheel?
Shit. I didn't even know. Like, what was it? There's some show. I think it's called like The Gilded Age or something, and it's like set in like New York, but at a particular time.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, I really thought it was still just marsh.
Me, yeah.
When you say that year, I'm like, oh yeah, we don't know where anything anything is. Yeah. And it's like, no, Shalewa, you just don't know history.
Yeah, you don't realize what time periods overlap.
Yeah, it's very,
I will say the thing I like about seeing rockabilly people now is that when you see photos of rockabilly people back in the 50s, nowhere near the same size. So it's just like it's like a really funny seeing of like how high fructose corn syrup affected the width of Chuck Taylor's fucking buying Chuck Taylor's is so funny.
Yeah, there's at some point they had to start making those rockabilly clothing companies because they were like they didn't make motorcycle jackets this wide.
Yeah, right.
Just those two twins, and they bought all of them.
There was a bunch of guys just rubbing their hands together, waiting for those guys to die, waiting for that estate sale. You're like, come on, I'm seeing you. I know you're gonna go sooner or later.
There is nothing like going into a thrift store and it being larger and finding like stuff in your size, and you're like, I don't know who died, but thank you.
Thank you.
I know. When I moved, I got rid of a lot of stuff when I moved from Atlanta here, and I was like, yo, there is a fat girl who's going to walk into the Value Village on Metropolitan Parkway, and she's going to be like, holy shit.
Yeah.
What, all the basics?
Yeah.
Like dress things? Like everything.
I was at a record store, and I kind of in DC, and I kind of know some of the guys that run it. So whatever, they were bullshitting, and I was looking through like all the band T-shirts, and there was like 20 different like straight edge band shirts in a row, all size medium. And I was like, damn. I was like talking to the guy and I was like, damn, some guy broke edge after this long. And he goes, nah, I know him. He just got fat. And I was like, that's fucking awesome.
Classic.
Yeah, dude.
Man.
Getting fat on no beer. Just
Getting fat on no beer
is so
wow,
crazy.
what an accomplishment.
I did it, dude. I did it. It
Yeah,
was awesome.
absolutely.
I got fat on full calorie soda.
Oreos and
Don't-
soda and the purple Doritos will really catch up to you.
But just
So
hitting the
funny.
McDonald's drive-thru after seeing another band of 17-year-olds sing about how homework is hard
Yeah.
or whatever.
What a time.
Yeah.
What a time. I mean, like, I had a couple of friends who were in, like, I remember the 90s and having a guy that I worked with at the Gap.
Ooh.
Having
90s
to
Gap.
having to sit. Yeah. Oh, I was there during the whole khakis rule, khakis
yeah,
rock.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was in the thick of
The
this.
Cherry Poppin' Daddies commercials and shit.
Look, man, come on, Brian Seltzer, come through,
Sitting in
come
the
through. Yes,
Let me get a-
I was
let me
just
get a-
sitting in the
let me get a
parking
sip
lot
of
of the
that
mall, being
seltzer.
like,
yeah, like we had T-shirts that we had,
You're like,
that
okay.
had it on there, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'll do the swing because I know you guys. Also, I've seen swingers 5 times in the theaters.
Yeah.
You guys don't understand.
Yeah, I don't-
I've been trying to be a lounge singer since I was like 14. You don't understand.
Yeah.
I'll do this.
the culture.
So
But-
you're watching John Favreau's movie about heartbreak, and you're like, "That's me."
That's me. I see
That
me
is
in
me.
there. I mean, like, but yes. And this guy sat me down and he's like explaining what emo is versus like hardcore, and I'm just like taking notes because I'm like, all right, I just want to make sure I got this right. I don't want to upset anybody.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah.
Just him and his friend who worked at the Sanrio store, just breaking it down for me.
Whoa.
And
So the penguin is Batsamaru, and he's
Yep,
honorary.
That's literally
Hell
one of my.
yeah.
It's just tiny
my
little squishy.
Oh, little
Bats
so
Maroon
awesome.
playing records. I got
Amazing.
it off of a wallet I bought.
That's so.
good.
That's so.
Just making
awesome.
the transition from Karopi to Batsmaru. It's just like, are you okay?
Yeah, and
You
you're like,
know?
I don't know.
I
We'll
don't
find
know.
out.
We're going dark.
We'll
We're going
find out.
dark. Yeah.
My Batsamaru era.
Yeah,
Which I feel like will never end.
yeah, and it's like, okay, you're gonna see a bunch of white guys with shaved heads, and
Right.
don't worry, they're actually really nice,
They're very
unless you run a
nice.
fur farm,
Yeah.
and then they want to kill you.
Yeah, and I just remember going to a few shows, and a few house shows or whatever, and having like going to see a friend's band, and that friend just being very like, just stand on this side,
Yeah.
Nice.
just stand here, and just I know you're just going to take it all in. You're not going. I'm like, no, I'm just curious what this is all
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yeah.
My
Good
vibe
observe.
has always been just like well-meaning auntie who just wants to.
Yeah.
Even when I was, like 22 or 23, I just want to make sure y'all are having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to see what it's all about.
One time, my parents. It was funny because they came together to see one of my way post divorce, but they came together to watch one of my bands play once. I was like 18, playing at the beautiful Center Reach, New York VFW hall.
Ooh, beautiful.
Yeah, and it was a huge room. It was so it was big enough where they would have these shows that were like 20 bands, but they would have 2 stages.
Oh.
So it would be
Okay.
like the stage and the floor, and you'd kind of go like back and forth. And my band was playing on the floor.
While one band was finishing and putting
you're
away.
like like they're
They're smart.
playing, you're setting up back and
Great.
forth.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Keep it moving.
Yeah. So my band is playing, and we weren't particularly popular. I think we were just playing on like a very well attended show.
Right.
So it was no pre.
Damn it. That's the only one I don't
no,
remember.
that one we were all right. People cared a little bit about that one. It's funny because I was talking to a guy. He's like, "Oh, I have one of your band shirts." I go, "What?
What? Can I have it?
What the fuck? Can I don't have it." But my parents are there, and my friend is there, and his name is Bird, obviously.
Sure.
And he is for sure blackout drunk at this point in the show. But my parents are there, and he grabs my parents, and he kind of knows them. he
should not
doesn't
be
know them
doing
that
this.
well. He's met my dad a couple of times, I think.
Right.
And he goes, "Okay, you guys stand here." And then he just turns to some kid is standing there, and he goes, "You stand in front of them and don't fucking move." And makes
Hell
him stand
yes.
in front of them. And that kid 100% fully got his nose broken
Oh,
during
wow.
the show directly in front of my parents from
Amazing.
somebody doing like fucking karate chop
Yeah.
moshing.
Oh my
like
god.
just fucking, he's like standing in front of these these people and don't fucking move and make sure they're okay. And kid's like, all right, fine, whatever. You have face tattoos. This is 2007. I'm scared of you. I don't care. I'm scared of you. And that kid just fully got exploded, blood everywhere.
Oh, wow.
Brutal.
Man.
Your parents wear those like big plastic ponchos like we're going to see a Gallagher show?
Yeah. No, I had them wearing like reflective vests,
Nice.
like
Smart.
crossing guards, so everyone
Smart.
could see where they were.
All right.
That's so. They're over there.
Yeah.
I don't want to look that way.
I was like, man, it's so funny that he did that. And I was like, thank you for doing that, by the way.
Truly.
If my parents got hit, I would have had to take a mic stand and hit somebody in the head with it or something.
Easily.
And also, that same show, I had gotten LASIK surgery like the week before.
Oh.
So I had to spend the entire show being like, if anyone hits me in the face, my eyeballs will explode. they're not fully healed yet.
Yeah, you taped off a little area.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Wow, we're just out here doing too much.
A lot. I was like, this is so important. I was like, we're playing on the floor at the Center Reach VFW. This is so important. I have to go here while I'm still healing from surgery.
I don't want to disappoint the fan.
Could never.
Singular.
Could never. And our fan got his nose broken standing in front of my parents. He was like, finally, the band will notice me. With whatever this fucking guy's yelling about.
Jesus
oh my
Christ.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I've asked Tim this before, and you're
Don't point at me
joining.
like that.
Oh, sorry. Sidecock.
Yeah.
I like because I'm more of a jock than like a music
Sure,
person.
right.
If I could be at any fight ever in history or any sporting
Okay,
event, is there a show you kind of hold dear where you're like, I wish I was there for that?
Huh. If I can remember, let's see. Well,
Or like an artist you wish you saw like during a like I
During
saw
a
them on this
particular-
tour
Yeah,
or like
yeah,
this.
yeah.
I wish I had seen them or like I didn't get into them until X, Y, and Z, but I wish I'd seen them before.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, like okay, so all right, at the record store we used to, because this was the 90s, we did make your own palooza. I would make everyone
Oh, that's fun.
make their own palooza, and we had them like posted behind the register. But then we didn't let anyone back there to look at them because it's like you don't work here.
Yeah,
you know, like,
I'm not going to
just-
give you the real insight.
just premium music snob.
I
always
love
wanted
it.
to
I
work-
fucking love
I
it.
always wanted to work at like a movie rental place or like a record store, and whenever they had staff picks, I would just pick whatever is number one on the charts, like the most obvious thing,
Right.
Just be like, okay, man,
There
9
you
weeks
go.
in a row, you're like, gotta see Avatar.
it's awesome.
You gotta watch Avatar. It's so blue.
So funny to do something like that.
I once when I was working at Barnes and Noble in the music section, and we had like a staff picks thing. I picked what was Kevin Federline's solo album.
Yes.
And then Elton John came through the store to go shopping because he lived down the street at the time,
Oh,
and he
whoa.
liked to just come through and get a bunch of books and music.
Was
And-
when he was working with So Def?
yeah,
Yeah.
him and Dallas Austin would come
Yeah.
through.
Yeah,
all
Jermaine
the
Dupri
time.
era.
Did you see him in there?
Ooh, Elton?
Yeah.
I tried to sell him the Kevin Federline record. Fuck. Which is insane because it didn't even have Popo Zao on it. But I truly tried. I was just like, I mean, it's a little more soulful than you would think. And he's like, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah. Was he dressed to the nine to go to the store?
No, he was
Awesome.
in sweats. And
Awesome.
also he didn't carry his own, like, he had like a
purse handler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
Yeah, it was just like, I got his wallet and stuff. So he bought a lot of stuff because Elton likes to be on top of things.
Yeah.
And he had all
Smart.
that there.
I know.
And then we told him the total, and he was just pointed to the guy.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's Barnes & Noble, so we're like, do you have like a membership card? And the guy's like, do you? And Elton's like, yeah. And he's like, all right. And he goes fishing around in there and go, oh, here it is. And I'm like, great.
Yeah, because I saw a thing of him recently. I don't remember who he's talking about, but he's talking about like a very current band. Being
Yeah,
like, that was
he
my
is.
favorite record of the year.
Wow.
Yeah, like he's still like on
That's
it.
cool.
and, like,
I really
cares
like
about
that.
music.
Yeah.
Because when and again, it's understandable. We were talking about the Pixies. It's very understandable to like be in a thing, in a line of work, especially artistically, and kind of get so inundated with it, you get exhausted by it to the point where you're like,
Yes.
I don't take it in at all.
Right.
Like me with podcasting.
Yeah.
So, but when someone
And to call this work is interesting.
Thank you. I am a very interesting person. But to still have that passion and enthusiasm, I find so cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it is. I will go on like YouTube runs.
Mm-hmm.
So if I see something or a name that's being mentioned a lot, I will look up whatever they've done. And then I do this on the laptop so that there's stuff suggested so I can go, all right, well, what else is supposed to kind of sound like that? And so then I would spend like, a night watching all of this kind of music and all that, or if there's like someone uses a song in stories, in like their IG stories, I'm like, okay, who is that? And I pop over and I look that up. So I'm constantly just kind of trying, because I don't want to be complacent and only listen to Kim Deal for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
Though I am,
which
I am moving towards. I am moving towards. And I'm like, oh, I gotta find it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think. Honestly, there was a jazz vocal trio called Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross, big like in the late 50s, maybe early 60s.
When you said jazz vocal trio, my very stupid brain went like, are they all going like boom, 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 boom?
Here's what they were doing.
Oh, okay.
There was a band. There usually is a band playing behind them. There's, drummer, pianist, and they like a horn guy. And what they would do is they would do like the jazz versions of maybe standards or something where no one's singing, but when you run through the song once and then when you run through it again, different people are taking a solo.
Okay.
Right? So you get the main, here's what the song basically sounds like. And then they go to run through that again, but Miles is doing a solo instead of the melody that we're all used to.
Wow.
So what they are doing is they make up words to sing. They sing the jazz solo that was, say, someone's horn solo, but they make up words to go with it. So they're not scatting. They're saying words to fill in.
Okay,
wow.
Yeah, it's called vocalese.
One more time?
Vocalese. Vocalese.
Yeah.
And so there's this trio called Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross, and they would do that. And I heard this album, like there was like a compilation album or something. I heard it and I was just like, I love this so much. And I remember bringing it home and playing it, and my dad was an old jazz guy and he literally kicked my door in and was like, where did you get this Lambert?
Whoa,
Hendricks?
that's
like,
awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And so
how did you hear it?
so I would love to have seen that happen, like see them perform
Very cool.
live or whatever. But that's the only thing that I'm like, oh, I wish I could have seen like some old bebop guys kind of do whatever. But the rest of it is like, oh, I wish I could have seen Blur for a fourth time.
Hell yeah.
I'm good. Like.
Because I did the YouTube run yesterday because it's like that whole kind of like early, like mid 2000s to mid 2010s, like kind of Williamsburg, like rock.
Right.
That whole thing, I was so into hardcore by that point.
Right.
That I completely was just like, that's not for me. Like, I don't, none of that. But then we watched that, my girlfriend and I watched that, what is it?
The Meet Me in the Bathroom?
No.
Oh.
It was the TV on the radio playing on Letterman. That's like going around again. Recently.
Wolf Like Me.
And then I was just like,
I see him all the time.
I was like, oh shit. I was like, this doesn't even. I was like, first of all, I was like, this is way like way better than I thought it was. Like this is whatever, and it's so different than what I thought it was.
Yeah,
because I was like, oh, it probably sounds like MGMT or some shit. Like,
like
all that shit kind of all sounds the same.
Yeah,
which is like the same. I was like, I completely missed LCD Sound System. Until post original breakup,
right?
Like way past that. I think it was like they were coming back, and I was like, "What's the deal here?" Okay, let me see what everyone's fucking talking about. And then I listened to it, and I was like, "I like Talking Heads. Okay, I understand what's going on here a little bit enough." Like, but it was really like that whole era of like that kind of music. Really, like I listened to the Strokes when it came out because I was like, okay, it's cool. It's like whatever, guys, skinny tall guys in t-shirts playing guitars.
Sure,
I've seen this a million different ways. You know,
right,
it's like when somebody does a video and they're like, we're trying every fast food chicken tender, and you're like, okay, they're all going to be pretty similar, but I guess there's a little different things where you're like, oh, this one has a little bit more black pepper in it or something. You know, like, but I'm like, but that whole thing, I was just like, it's not like aggressive enough for me. So I couldn't do it. And then I was like, watched some stuff last night where some of it I was like, oh, this is cool, and some of it I was like, oh, this actually sucks really bad still. Like I'm not into this at all.
You gotta go through and figure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I feel like I was lucky in that at the time that I started kind of getting into music, I was already like listening. I started listening to like our college radio station when I was like a kid. So I already was like hearing stuff that you wouldn't normally hear. And then I started working at a record store, dating a guy at this independent record store when I was like 19. So now my ears are already tuned to that, and I would get to go to shows and all of that stuff. So I've been kind of lucky in getting to see a lot of people that just either early on or just kind of out of curiosity or anything like that. So for me, it's just like either going way back to hear a thing. Yeah. But yeah, now I'm just like, oh, why do I even go to these shows? And then I'm like, oh, well, here I am. I just bought another ticket for another. I literally like YouTube, like tossed some girl at me. I listened to it. It was very like math rock meets bossa nova.
Oh shit! Okay.
And I was like, oh, all right. And then I looked her up, and then the other one was a little more bossa nova, but I really liked it. And I'm like, all right, well, what's the deal with this girl? Why did YouTube give this to me? Does she have a new record out or something? Some new record's coming soon. I saw when she's coming to town. Went ahead and bought a ticket. Let's just fucking see what's what.
Is bossa nova a person or a genre of music?
Genre of music.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the girl from Ipanema.
Yes, I do know.
That kind of.
Oh, okay.
That is bossa nova.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I love learning.
Hey, look at that.
Learn. I can take in information better than anybody.
Hey, I'm a sponge. What can I say? I'm here. I'm taking it in. I feel like luckily I had some like kind of my like old heads in hardcore where guys that were into more than just hardcore and punk. Definitely like when I got more on the punk side, because there are definitely hardcore guys that are just like, bro, if it's not from the Lower East Side of New York, I don't listen to it. But there are like, I remember like a guy I know being like, I'm gonna go see Belle and Sebastian, and I'm like, I don't know what that is, and he's like, sit down, like listen to this shit, or even like because there's always like the like there's definitely like the hardcore approved non-hardcore music, where it's like a lot of rap is on there, and then it'll be like oh, the Smiths and Oasis and stuff like that, and stuff that I'm still like, hey, listen, I got this haircut for a reason. Right. But it was like, but getting outside of that was also like, okay, awesome, this is nice. It's like the fact that I'm like, even if it is still loud, I'm like, okay, I can like listen to Dinosaur Jr. or something instead of having to just listen to like Minor Threat again.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then seeing like all the branches that come off of all that stuff and being like, okay, I like this. I don't like this.
That's fun. That's always fun of just like, all right, well, let's go this way with it. Let's see what, all right, that person did this. I'm a big liner notes person.
Oh yes.
I miss
who are they
liner
thanking?
Notes. Yeah. Who are they thanking? Cool. Like from working at record store, I used to like just literally look at a cover and go, all right, maybe. I paid a lot of attention to record labels.
Yes.
So I was just like, all right, what are you, a thrill jockey, bitch? Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'll give you a try.
You automatically get the allowance of a try.
Yeah, like okay.
Like, you're also an amphetamine reptile.
Yeah,
all right, cool. Come on. We'll listen to that. All right.
During the COVID,
trying to rack my brain for a record label.
Amphetamine reptile is a record label.
But Bad Boy. It's a Bad Boy.
It's a Bad Boy. Yeah.
During
No, not Bad Boy.
During the COVIDian times when all of the verses were happening, I remember saying something on Twitter about why don't we have like a 90s indie rock versus, like, why aren't we doing Sub Pop versus Matador? And I mean, people came out of the woodwork of just like throwing other. And I'm just like, this is great. Actually, I love this. Let's put them together.
Also, I do love the idea of like a Disney adult being like, Belle and Sebastian, what's this? And I'm being really disappointed.
What's this fucking song about Mike Piazza? Who fucking gives a shit about this guy? Is it a castle or what?
Oh my God.
Are we in the ocean or in the castle?
That's their verses.
Yeah. That's so funny. Especially because to me, I'm like, why wouldn't it? It's all the same twee shit. No, Shalewa, you know. That it is not.
It is not. Yeah,
And
it's like
Disney adults.
yeah, because it's like,
Disney
hey, you listen to
adults.
Bell and Sebastian, you're like, okay, and then you listen to some other, I don't know, what's some other, the Shins.
Right.
And you're like,
yeah,
this is
it's a
different.
different thing.
That's another band I've known about.
yeah,
Known about.
that's nice.
Heard about
And
them.
what what language do they speak in?
Swedish? Dutch?
It's one that they made up on their own.
Did they really?
Yes, it's their
That's
own language, but it's kind of Iceland. They're from Iceland.
Yeah, from
yeah.
Iceland, so.
Yeah. That's speaking of Iceland, that's one that I really didn't get into for a long time, and then the Bjork switch flipped in my head.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
that's
I get it now.
The wires
yeah.
like
Yeah. Which is funny because I like watched her ex-husband's movies, and I was like, I watched Matthew Barney's the Craymaster cycle, being like, yeah, I get this. That other shit I don't know about, but I'm like, that's a song. You know that.
Dude.
You know what songs are.
I love
That's
Bjork,
very
and her
funny.
music is good too.
Yeah.
I love seeing someone assault journalists. That makes me really happy.
Dude, yeah.
Her and Alec Baldwin, baby, number one.
Yeah.
Oh wait, who did Alec Baldwin attack?
Some paparazzi.
There's a bunch of paparazzi guys.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
there's one, it's from like maybe 10, 15 years ago. That's like,
Oh,
there's
alright.
like, I think it's like right after he had a kid. Maybe he's coming out of the hospital or like coming out of his apartment with like a newborn, like his wife and a
Oh,
newborn.
alright, yeah.
And he was like, fucking enough. And like started
Yeah.
like grabbing some guy's like camera around his neck and shit.
But
Like,
to be fair to the paparazzis, that's like an every week thing with Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin and his wife, they got a new baby
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
fucking
Time.
fortnight.
Oh my
He
god.
busts in that woman,
dude. Because
You know what? Honestly, I kind of think maybe he don't. I think he's asleep half of the time.
and she's extracting
She's
it.
like,
She's doing the
yeah.
substance.
I think
weird-
so.
I'm gonna do this crank
It's
emotion.
just too much, and he's too tired to do the head counts. And he's like, I
Yeah.
mean, if you say so.
Because who
Whatever.
was more fertile than an Irish guy and a white woman pretending to be a Latina?
Nobody.
Who's more fertile than those two cultures?
What's
That's
more
true.
Hispanic than having 7 babies? I can't think of anything.
With a white guy.
And they put them all in one car. I'm like, that's a woman.
Go crazy on him.
Yeah, you. That's an excellent point.
Yeah.
They are just sitting next to each other doing it.
Those are the most Catholic children that have ever
Truly,
existed.
holy shit. The sexual repression in the
Have
house.
you,
Dude, it's
have you
insane.
watched any of the TV show?
No, I haven't. I walked by them a lot
Oh, okay.
because my ex lived very close
Like
to
on
them.
the same block.
Same
or
block.
something.
Yeah, and I'd
always
be like,
'cause I didn't go to her house
Yeah.
that often just to have sex with her.
yeah.
But I would like, the couple of times I was like leaving there, I'm like, Alec Baldwin again? Jesus Christ, I'm on your dog walking schedule, apparently. Every time I see you, you're like wearing a different fucking hat over your head, walking a
Solo.
dog.
Have you seen the show?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I don't
Come
know
over
if
later,
I
we'll watch
can.
it.
Yeah.
All right.
You're
all right.
already here.
I'm
Yeah, I
Come
know.
over later.
Come over. I don't know. I mean, like the less I know about this version of Alec Baldwin, the better. Only
yeah.
because young Alec Baldwin, I would have fucked up my credit for him. He was
Wow.
so hot.
Every time
yeah.
I watch Beetlejuice, I'm like, Jesus
I'm
Christ,
I mean,
dude. Yeah.
yo, there was one, what was it called? Miami. There was another one where he was just in a tank top the whole time.
Glenn Ross.
yeah.
In a tank top. Put that coffee down.
Yeah.
Just yelling at people.
It's a way different conversation if you're
Yeah.
saying that in just a tank top.
Oh my goodness, he's truly like, I was just like, this is mine. Like, I don't even
It's
know what to
crazy.
do with
Sure.
myself.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
have a Mount Rushmore of celebrity gentlemen?
Sexual men.
sexual
Do you
men.
have a
Sexual
do you have
men.
a sexual
I
Mount
mean,
Rushmore?
yeah, and the ages matter too. It's
That's
No,
important.
it
No,
really
that's totally
does.
fair.
very
Totally
important.
fair.
But yeah, so young Alec Baldwin.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg
great.
now.
But dude, that's the thing. Like Anne Hathaway now
Mm-hmm.
is so much more attractive
Higher.
to me than Anne Hathaway 15, 20 years ago. Like young,
Sure.
like I'm like, oh, because now I look at her and go, oh, you look like a woman now. You don't have like a soft like
right,
child
yeah.
face.
She
I'm like,
definitely held on to the girlish features
Yeah.
for a while, even with that grown woman mouth of hers. Like the lips are-
yeah.
To that end, the
Percy?
newest one
Uh-huh.
is Nicholas Gallatin, who was in a movie with her where she hooks up with a young guy who was in a.
Oh, yes.
This
Yes,
kid,
yes.
I don't know who this young man is,
Hey,
but
good for him.
he changed my life. And that he
Oh.
just showed up, and I was like, "Oh, I'd fuck him."
Right, yeah. And
And
you're
then
like, you're surprised by that
Yeah,
feeling internally?
I was truly.
Oh, I
'cause,
still
mean,
have that.
Yeah, I
That's
was because
nice.
I'm like 2+ years into menopause, and I was like, "Oh, great! I don't have to worry about any of that anymore. Atrophy. And so, but then he showed up, and I'm like, oh, but he's a little hottie.
Okay.
Oh yes,
that's
this
cute.
guy. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd let him get
It's
on
the
top of me.
idea. Oh, I
I'm not
watched
getting
that
on
really
top.
horrible Amazon movie he was in.
Which
Red,
which
white,
one?
and royal blue.
Yes,
the one.
and I love that too. I
Yeah.
went through it, and I was just
On
like,
this guy.
this isn't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if this is good. I would never tell someone that's a good movie. I would say, for whatever reason, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, fair.
He's one of those guys where you look at him and you go, man, you really have a skull under there.
Yeah,
You can
lot
really
of
tell that he
bone.
has like. I'm like, damn, you have the structure of a skull, and I can really see it.
Yeah. He also, I'm like, he's got kind of a cereal box head. I'm like, oh, I think you're. I think he's truly beautiful, and I also think he's like a cowlick kid.
Oh,
Just always a cow. Like,
yeah.
there's going to be a spot right in the back that will never connect. No matter what
He kind
happens.
of looks Skarsgård-ish.
Oh,
He looks a little Skarsgård-y.
okay.
Yeah.
Heard that.
But
Like-
with lips.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's
Okay.
had way more red 40 than they ever did in whatever country they're from that it's illegal
Yes,
to eat it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So young Alec Baldwin.
Young
this
Alec
fucking
Baldwin,
guy.
this
I'm not
guy,
gonna learn his name.
I
Nicholas
like
Guillotine.
I like a Ryan Gosling.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like a Ryan Gosling.
Any era?
I mean, probably. Well, you know what? I don't want to say recent because he's been getting fillers. Fillers is fucking it up for everybody.
Anything pre-Barbie.
Pre-Barbie.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, I think peak for me, Ryan Gosling is half Nelson. Ryan Gosling.
Have Nelson.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
he played the crack using teacher.
Yeah.
Mwah. And also his band.
Oh, Old Man's Bones.
Yeah. Dead Man's Bones.
Old Man's Bones. Whatever.
Same thing.
6 to 1,
Yeah.
you know. But yes, I truly love that.
Yes.
And I listen to it ready to talk shit. Anytime some actor comes out, I'm just like,
Yeah, of course.
let's prepare. And then I was like, oh
Bruce-
shit, this is like creepy carnival music, which gets me. I love creepy carnival music.
Go Bordello and stuff like
Just
that.
I was like, oh no, I like this.
Fuck, yeah, there is sometimes where I see something that somebody does, and I'm like, fuck, I like it.
Yeah,
God damn it.
I was real because I'm like, oh, do I have to be a Ryan Gosling person? And you don't.
You don't
You
have
never
to
do.
be.
I never. That's a thing. Everybody, you can. There's like restraint.
Yeah.
You don't have to go full on. Just pick a thing. You pick a thing out of it, and you don't
Yeah.
have to stand.
Yeah, I don't want to get burned again.
That's the thing. It's like you don't have to go all in on it.
Yeah.
You're like, I like this thing that person does.
Right.
And you don't have to then be like, no, everything they do is actually good and it's
Right.
artistic. And
Yeah,
it's like, no.
no, they can't. Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Sometimes
can't
you're
be all
watching.
winners.
Sometimes you're watching someone cash a check.
Yeah,
exactly.
like Woody Allen with his marriage. It's great.
Yeah. and then I don't. And then all of a sudden I have to defend the movies.
I don't care what
Right,
you're
yeah,
doing.
I love the marriage.
And he
and all of a
stinks.
sudden I'm like, oh, Vicky Cristina Barcelona. It's like, are you a person or a place? What are we doing here? Come
What's
on.
happening? Oh my gosh, I can't think of who else. Daniel Kaluuya.
Oh, that's a good.
yeah.
One.
Yeah, I'll
That's
follow.
a fucking guy who can really lift a bag of groceries for you.
I mean,
You see him, you're just like that. You are so like
Yeah.
square and just like yes.
He also is. He's so British.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like on his Instagram, he's always repping like this music, and I'm like, this is clearly what's
It's
popping
the
there.
streets. You gotta listen to him, guys.
Yeah.
I know, and I'm just like, I mean, I guess it is British rap, so
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
but
yeah.
I got a full-
whatever,
Say,
whatever
oh, great,
you
have a
say,
kni-
sir.
you're rapping about having a knife. Awesome. yeah.
But he's also very charming, which is, as we all know, dangerous.
Yes.
I don't trust him.
Yeah.
So throw him on the pile.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like that's anybody else. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fair,
Whatever.
fair.
Yeah.
Who I feel
Fair
like.
enough.
No, Brad Pitt in Snatch.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really good one.
You look
Yeah.
like a boxer.
yeah.
Yeah, gotta have the accent.
Yeah, it has to have the accent.
Gotta have the
Yeah.
accent. But yes, in Snatch. I mean, Fight Club's fine, but no, it was Snatch.
No,
I think it was
yeah.
A little more dirt on him. oddly
Yeah,
enough.
yeah. But
I love that.
I didn't like him with long hair. He was too pretty. He was too pretty.
Yeah.
I was like,
you could cross that line.
Yeah, you gotta
him
punch.
Trust me, I
doing
know.
all of Jennifer Aniston's hairstyles while they were dating and
Yeah,
stuff.
right?
It's really brutal.
oh
Using
my
all of her
goodness.
hair products, she's like, this is too much.
Because I saw somebody be like the original being like, hey, it looks like they kind of had the same hairstyle, and then I was like, you're fucking stupid. And then there was like 8 photos in a row, and I was
Yeah.
like, Jesus Christ, dude, get your own hairstyle.
Yeah, like cut it
Chill
out. Yeah. So
Be
I
your
mean,
own man.
I guess that, but I don't know, man. I forget to think. Not that I forget to think about sex, but I forget to think about people.
But when
sexy.
people go like, "Who's your celebrity crush?" I go, "I don't know. The last woman I saw on Instagram." Like, I don't know. I don't really have like a list of like.
Yeah,
these are the
I gotta
ones
talk
I
to
love.
him. Can I talk to him?
But it's
Yeah.
also like celebrity crush in the sense of like, how much work do I have to do for us to hook up? Celebrity crush, like we're both in the room and she's super into it. Okay, blah, blah, blah.
Sure, we'll do that.
Go on a date and have to turn it on. I don't want to do it. It's not worth it.
Yeah,
Not
no.
worth
So
it.
I need them to be charming because I need them to make me giggle.
Yes.
And then I'll probably, I don't know, have sex with them or something.
Sure.
But which is, that is a shame that giggling is a thing. Like,
Yeah.
all right, I'll sleep with you because then I go to do comedy.
Yeah.
And now there's a bunch of guys, and I'm like, oh, I don't trust any of you. You all make me giggle.
Yeah.
Boo.
Then you have to code it. You're all blocked out.
You're all, no.
Because as a funny woman who dates men, obviously, the like you still want a funny guy,
Right.
so it's just like it's an interesting like a higher standard, right? Because
Right,
when
yes.
you're funny, your standard for what makes you laugh automatically rises.
Yes.
but it's so
precisely.
much harder. I don't know. I just feel like it has to be harder for you to find a man who's funny.
Yeah, it is because sometimes there's just you're a comedian. Okay, well, I got
Bad start.
Big red flag right there.
That's no good. And then a guy like like, oh, so you're funny. So I mean, not that I even talk to dudes much, but usually I am pretty quiet and reserved.
Mm-hmm.
When you are just meeting me, I hold a lot back. I tend to hold a lot back. So then if a guy is funny, I'm laughing, blah, blah, blah. But then something will happen where they say something and then I say some joke in return and they're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, they get,
Huh.
the call's coming from inside the house.
Oh, no. And I'm like, oh, I thought we were just having fun. I wasn't even thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just said that off the cuff.
Yeah. And now that's going to be a thing.
Yeah. Because that to me, the inverse of that is like when I am hanging out with a woman and we're like joking and then she says something that's like funny and I'm like, oh, now I'm in love. Like
Right,
this is
yes.
like, this has sparked. I'm like, oh shit. Okay. I'm envisioning us getting married. I'm
Right.
wearing a beautiful dress.
Exactly.
We're having a good time. We're both the bride. It's really beautiful. But I am like, it's that thing where it's like, I am so curious about like the people who seem to be dating someone. It's like maybe it's like in public or in private they're a little different, but it's like damn, you got a dull one.
Yeah.
Like you're a person who has like a personality, and the person
Right.
you're dating is so dull.
Yeah.
And it really is like, I'm like, what do you like about them?
Yeah,
then? Like what do you
sometimes
talk about?
Nurse for the purse.
Yeah, nurse with a purse.
For the
yeah.
purse, they're going to take care of me. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
exactly what I'm saying. Like this is not a nurse with a purse or a doctor with a briefcase or anything like that. Nobody here has any money or taking care of anyone.
Right, yeah. I don't know. I mean, sometimes you want the silence. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I
You
think
want to be the
about,
star.
yeah, because I know I've known a lot of guys
Nice.
who are, I know, God bless them.
Same here.
And like, just being in music and being a music fan and a music nerd, and then you're just going to be around a lot of guys who are constantly just like, well, have you heard the cassette that they recorded in there? You know,
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
You're that guy. But so you will accidentally fall for one of these guys, and you're just like, we have these things in common. We like these things. We know how. Why then will their girlfriend be so boring?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's like, because she doesn't know that, and he gets to tell her about that.
Yeah.
So
That's his value.
yes, exactly. So
Yeah.
like, They Might Be Giants is a great band, but it's a greater band when a guy gets to tell you about it. If
Yeah.
you are a girl who already
Yeah.
knows about They Might Be Giants,
Yeah.
where's the fun?
Where's
Yeah.
it gonna go?
That's what can I do? You already know.
He's like, I might feel small if I don't get to explain it to you.
Yeah. And so that is usually what I've come up against, is just like, oh, you already know the stuff, so I don't know what I can.
Yeah.
What do I
tell
bring to
you.
the table if not
Yeah.
information about
Yeah, because like I've spent my entire life learning this one thing.
Right.
And if I don't have the like superiority of this one thing, I
Yes.
bring nothing to the table
There's
because I have
nothing
not
else.
advanced my life
Right.
in any other way.
And that's fine. We just got to find the thing that I'm dumb about
Yeah.
that you
And we'll find it.
Yeah, it's there. I'm sure it's there. Unfortunately, because that means I'm alone a lot, I'm doing a lot of clicking on blue links. So I'm learning a lot of shit. And so now the window's closing.
Yeah. You're gonna get you gotta get real niche with your information for her.
In order for me to go, interesting. So
very cool.
Yeah. So that's
and it's like, and do not bring up sports. That's not what's gonna impress me.
I don't want to hear about that shit.
Hey, I can name you all the people that won the Super Bowl in the last 50 years. I'm like, okay, whatever, man, have fun. I'm gonna go take a walk, I guess.
Yeah. So that's just like a weird kind of thing that you just at some point you just kind of shake off because I'm like, I'm not going to pretend like I don't know.
No, that's.
But I'm also but so if that is an issue that I also know about the things, then so be it. Yeah. But I also like it. So
sure.
So it's I don't know what to do to try and find a mate. Fuck them, I guess.
Yeah,
I could do that.
Fingers crossed.
But I don't. That's.
Yeah, well,
so
that's one of those things where it's like,
do.
eventually it's like, I don't know, I guess I'll just be in an old folks home and there'll be a woman whose wheelchair is near mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right, exactly. Just
neither of us can escape, I guess. So we're here, so why not?
Pass that herpes around.
There you go. You want to get some mush later?
Yeah.
Seems what they're serving us.
I'll see you back here in a couple hours, probably, unless something horrible happens to one of us.
Just imagine how great that's going to be on, like, hip-hop night at the old folks home.
Oh, yeah.
Where we're all just kind of barely nodding our heads.
What's this odd future? I love this. It's great.
They separate the chow hall between East Coast and West Coast.
Right. Oh, my God.
Nice and easy.
I truly can't wait to be one of those people who's just like kind of slumped in a chair and then they put headphones on me and they fucking play Depeche Mode and then I come alive.
Yeah, you spring back to life.
All I ever wanted, all I ever needed.
All of a sudden I'm just like dancing, like goth dancing, like it didn't even.
You pop on Violator and give you a full sugar Dr. Pepper, and all of a sudden you're going fucking crazy.
I'm kicking out the window, tearing the water fountain,
and mashed potatoes.
I can't wait for that part of my life.
Me too, Shalewa. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Thank you for doing the podcast. It's a blast, unbelievable. You're the best. Where can people follow you and listen to your podcast?
I'm on all whatever the social medias are. I'm there at Silky Jumbo.
Silky Jumbo.
All one word, traditional spelling.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know. I guess I got my own podcast called The War Report.
You got to check it out.
You got to listen to it.
She's the best.
Yeah.
She's been on the pod before. A long time ago, though. It's been a long time. A long time. We're so happy to have you back.
And it has not changed a bit.
No.
We have not progressed as people.
7 years.
Great. What a relief.
Yeah. No homework. Follow Micah Brucey at Micah Brucey.
Follow Diego Lopez at this Diego Lopez.
Patreon.com/A Little Time Pod for bonus episodes and all episodes for right now. We love you. We'll talk to you soon. Oh my God. Bye.
Bye.